Nakupenda, Soweto Baby, Girl Next Door, All Eyes on Me, Kona, Yebo. What is it that all these songs have in common? The Nigerian and the South African music industry has been long-time collaborators, but I find it quite funny how the South African music industry has been quiet when it comes to the fresh wave of xenophobia that has been happening particularly to Nigerians and other African countries at large. So, let's talk about it.
Since we met you people 500 years ago, look at us. We've given everything. You are still taking. It's true. I mean, where would the whole Western world be without Africa?
What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is the.jessicah, your global pop culture host, and if you are a return subscriber, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be debating the topic of whether we as listening audience are going to be boycotting the South African music industry over their repeated silence when it comes to political matters from countries they benefit from. So without further ado, let's get right on into this video.
How could I not be happy out there? I'm from the streets of Africa.
Before the cross-country collaborations, there was already an emotional and political connection between Nigeria and South Africa. During apartheid, Nigeria supported South Africa's liberation struggle. Nigeria funded anti-apartheid movements, and many Nigerians grew up seeing South Africans as fellow Africans fighting oppression. So when apartheid officially ended in 1994, many Africans were of the opinion that finally African countries could collaborate culturally and artistically without political barriers, and thus began the never-ending collaborations between these two nations. While Nigeria struggled to build its entertainment industry from the ground up, South Africa's entertainment industry was already thriving. They had a stronger club culture, better live event systems, and a more established music television from Channel O to MTV-based Africa and Trace. Meanwhile, Nigeria was cooking, creating infectious genre-blending sounds, but was primarily rooted in afrobeats, highlife, street pop, and R&B. But due to their less structured entertainment industry, they were heavily dependent on CDs, radio stations, and the ever-so-famous Alaba international market, which was famous for exploitation, aka piracy. But with the exploitation of music channels such as Channel O, Trace, and MTV-based Africa, we began to see how this increased the visibility of South African acts to Nigerians and vice versa. This exposure helped South African artists like TKZ and Boom Shaka break into the Nigerian hemisphere, while Nigerian acts like psquare and the band broke into the South African hemisphere.
Psquare.
Before the Davidos, Wizkids, and Burna Boys, there was Psquare. I think a lot of people underestimate how important Psquare were in building the modern relationship between Nigerian and South African music. In many ways, they were among the first Nigerian artists to truly break the invisible regional barriers that existed in African music at the time. During the late 2000s and early 2010s, most African artists were kind of confined to their own regions. So, West African acts were bigger in Western Africa and Southern African acts were bigger in Southern Africa. But Psquare came along and changed that. A lot of people wondered how artists who came from a still developing industry were able to produce big budget music videos with concepts that felt too Western for African standards. Songs like Do Me,
If you do me, I do you. Step on the dance floor.
personally and Chop My Money became massive in South Africa because their performance style translated naturally within that environment. Their success in South Africa also helped normalize Nigerian accents and Nigerian pop sounds within mainstream South Africa. In many ways, psquare created the blueprint for the now popular slogan, Afrobeats to the world, as their impact helped create familiarity between both audiences. Maphorisa go. When the relationship between Nigeria and South Africa is being discussed, one name constantly appears at the center of that conversation: DJ Maphorisa. Before his input emerging sounds from these nations, the sounds coming from each country felt individualistic, and by merging Afrobeats and pop from the Niger with Kwaito, Afro House and Gqom, he made music enjoyable for everyone. From Soweto Baby to Money Constant, DJ Maphorisa helped build the sound of a connected African generation. Between 2021 and 2024, African music entered one of its most important eras ever. This was due to the explosion of two very distinct genres coming from Africa's biggest music industries. For the second time since its creation, Afrobeats was expanding globally, as well as first-timers amapiano. The flag bearers for this era were Wizkid, Burna Boy, Tems, Ira Star, Rema, and Ashake. And for amapiano, you could argue Tyler, but most definitely Uncle Waffles, DBN Gogo, TXC, and DJ Maphorisa. Afrobeats became known for its melodies and bounce, while amapiano was groovy, high energy, and rhythmic. But somewhere along the line, these genres came together and another subgenre, afropiano, was formed. And while some people pushed against it, others welcomed the idea. For many years, music created the image that Africa was united. Nigerian audiences embraced South African music wholeheartedly. Nigerian clubs, DJs, TikTok creators, and the streaming audiences actually helped amplify amapiano because, yes, the South Africans were streaming, but its popularity boomed and blossomed when it entered the Nigerian music industry. When xenophobic violence and anti-African rhetoric repeatedly happened in South Africa, many people noticed that numerous South African artists have been silent. And this is where things are really complicated because some South African artists may avoid speaking because they fear backlash from local audiences. They do not want political controversy muddled up in their artistic creation. But at the same time, you have to speak up. It gets to a point you have to speak up. To wrap up this video, I guess in essence, what I have been trying to say is that while music promotes African unity or a shared identity or even Pan-Africanism, the constant experience of xenophobia and Afrophobia makes that so-called Pan-Africanism fall apart. I think now we are facing the reality that there is an obvious disconnect between the quote-unquote one Africa celebrated in music versus the realities experienced by the African people. Still, the legacy of these collaborations cannot be denied. Together, Nigeria and South Africa has produced some of the most influential sound of the 21st century and has helped redefine how African music is consumed globally. So to answer the question posed at the beginning of this video, are we boycotting the South Africans? The answer is no. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. Do check out my other videos, and as always, I will see you on the next one.